welcome back to Nerd Dog Podcast and this Mini-sode, which is number 5 in the in the rebooted series of Mini-sodes we have started. Today I'm here with Zombie.
Hiya.
Sounds a bit tired.
Nah. Or maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, let's go with tired. And I'm, of course, Josef. And today we're going to talk briefly about the Evil Dead musical, Evil Dead the musical, as it's called. I by the way, looked it up on IMDb. It's called Evil Dead 1 and 2, the musical, apparently.
Ah.
So,
No wonder,
yeah,
no wonder.
Yeah, I don't know. Perhaps it's just some jackass on IMDb trolling or something. I don't know. But, let's head straight into it then.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have seen the first two movies, the Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2, you know what the plot of the musical will be.
Yeah.
Because they've taken the first two movies and mashed them together into a
musical.
Well, yeah, exactly. The biggest difference is probably that it's a lot more jokey and there's dancing and singing, which would have been hilarious if they implemented in the movies, but it wouldn't fit whatsoever.
Yeah. And I think that also a big difference is that the characters, they have taken mainly the plot for the second one, but they have implemented the main characters from the first one. And the biggest difference I noticed was that they made the main group that went to the cabin first into more stereotypical characters, like group characters that you would see in more modern movies.
Yeah, but the plot in itself it's still the same. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's pretty much the plot of the musical. What are your thoughts on it? You're the connoisseur, I think it's called, or something like that, of musicals on the podcast. So,
Well, I have on and off listened to musicals. I haven't listened to a lot, but yeah, I really liked it. It didn't have any dragged on moments. I feel for being a horror centric musical, it went very much with the same vibe of the second movie, with the more jokey aspect, but still being graphic in one way or another. But you can also notice that I haven't watched a ton of low budget musicals, and I feel like this one was compared to more of the bigger ones, at least in the horror genre that I've noticed, because there's musicals like Sweeney Todd, or the musical that I've indulged in most is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and there's a very big budget difference, because I feel like it could have done a lot more than what it did, but it was still so fun to watch this.
yeah,
Because some moments you were just taken aback by the characters, oh, the fuck, or just the songs. The songs weren't over the top the best, but some of them were horrible, in which they didn't drag on too much. And the singers, they were good singers, which made the experience not horrible, because if this both the songs and the singers, if both the songs and the singers were bad, it would have been like such a drag to watch this whole thing. But yeah, and as I mentioned, while the two of us watched it together,
yeah, we did.
I, and as the previous episodes, I am not a big fan of the second movie, but watching it in this format, if they just had stuck to it with having the main group be in the second one, I don't think I would have minded it fully as much as I did. That was what was the biggest like change in the movie altogether, especially since like the characters and what they went through got totally different like things. And I didn't mind the story arc of how it went in the musical way when you had the original characters there. Although they did die pretty quick. Except Ash's sister, who was there like until the until the very end.
Well, they returned towards the end. Most of them.
Everyone. Mm. Yeah, but she was like a constant.
Yeah.
Which I think added more to like the insanity of Ash in his insanity scenes, which he had both in the musical and in the movie, with everything laughing at him, and adding that to his like dead sister as well, down in the attic. I think it worked well, especially considering that they just switched places with.
You meant the basement, right?
Yeah, the basement.
Yeah, you said down in the attic.
That's contradicting itself.
Yeah. Well, we are recording this pretty late, so you're excused.
Thank you. And like in the second movie, they just switched out her character with one of the new female characters' mothers. So there was like always a concept of someone down in the cellar.
Mm.
But yeah, I think it worked better to have it more relevant to Ash, since he was like the constant from the first to the second movie of like main character wise, as he was like the only character that transferred from the first to the second.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was a blast. Like, I don't remember the exact line, but like Ash's friend, when they started to talk about everything spooky going on and just talking about Ash's sister, like I don't remember what he called her, but like, did he call her a stupid bitch or like?
Yeah. He called her a stupid bitch like 5 times or something.
Yeah, like that caught you so off guard, and like for some reason, it being so out there made it so much more funnier.
The thing was the reason it caught me off guard was that I thought this musical would be. I thought it would be a bit more on the serious side.
That it would have taken more of the route of the first movie, with everything being like a serious tone and
and I thought it would just be a musical version of the first film, but it turned out to be a mashup of both of the first 2 movies.
Yeah, and I think that's something that caught both of us off guard.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm not a huge fan of musicals. I honestly think it's most of the time I think it's just a waste of time.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I really like this musical.
It's
some
really
of
a
the-
hit or miss thing.
Yeah, well, some of the musical numbers were a bit dragged out when they,
Yeah.
they sang a song and it led into another song, which led into another song,
Yeah.
which I just felt like, okay, come on, progress the story, please.
Yeah.
Um,
Like how they like paused everything just to sing about how Ash and his, I don't remember her name, but Ash and his girlfriend meeting at Kmart.
yeah, Linda, yeah,
Yeah. How Ash and Linda met at Kmart and fell
yeah.
in love.
But
So that,
besides that, I thought it was well acted. It was fucking hilarious at times.
yeah. It was
Uh,
just unfortunate that it wasn't as bloody as it could have been.
yeah, well,
It might have been too much of a slippery slope with the blood
yeah,
everywhere.
yeah, and it is a stage musical as well. So
Yeah,
I mean,
but
they could have probably done it a little bit more gory or bloody.
yeah,
But at the same time, I mean, I didn't count on them, having a
no,
bloodbath up there on the
yeah,
stage.
that is fair.
But
That is fair.
but yeah, no,
It was
uh,
well
it,
worth a
it,
watch.
yeah, definitely. I don't know if I'll ever rewatch it, but I was really curious about the musical because I've known about it for years and years and years.
How old is
And
it?
the first time they did it was back in 2004, I think.
Okay.
But they've done it a lot of times after that.
Yeah.
I think the last time was 2012, if I remember correctly. I read
So
something about
it is almost 20 years old.
Yeah, the first time
Yeah.
they did the musical. But no, as a person who doesn't like musicals, I really enjoyed it for what it was. It could have perhaps been like 10-15 minutes shorter.
Yeah.
But I get it. People needs to get, they need to get their money's worth.
Yeah.
So,
And I think the enjoyment of it might have helped that it was something that was familiar. Story-wise, character-wise, like plot-wise. So that might have helped with the enjoyment of the musical, because going into this like blind, not knowing the original story or anything
Yeah.
like that, it might have been a totally different experience.
yeah. This musical is made for the fans.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that's
and there were, besides references to both the first two movies, there were tons of references to the third movie, Army of Darkness, as well. But that story, they didn't include that into the musical.
no, but they also mentioned the director of the first movie, right? In this one, or was that?
They referenced him.
Yeah,
I think they referenced Spider-Man, and
Yeah.
they talked about Spider-Man sucking. The movie that came out
Yeah.
around 2003 or something. That was Sam Raimi who directed that one, and he is of course the creator, one of the creators, and the director of the Evil Dead trilogy. So I don't know what else to say about it. Really, it's a fun watch, and as of this recording, it's up on YouTube if anyone want to check it out.
yeah, and yeah, for like at least a one-time watch for fans of Evil Dead, the first or second one, it's a high recommendation. You watch it at least once.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a curious watch because of the source material. You know what they could do on a stage compared to the movies.
Yeah. But, also a question. Favorite song?
I barely remember the songs.
I think my favorite one was when Ash and his friend started with the song What the Fuck Was That? Just right after having like killed both of their girlfriends. I think that was. It was just like, well, they are dead. What the fuck?
I mean, I'm having a brain fart here. I can't remember the songs.
Ah, that's fair. They
But I
weren't
mean,
like
I
any
mean,
outstanding ones.
yeah. Well, that doesn't mean that there weren't any outstanding. It's just that it just means that. Well, it's been like a week since we watched them, and
Yeah, that's fair.
and I have a really bad memory. If we had watched the musical like a day or two ago, I would have remembered them. But you know,
Yeah.
but I remember there being a couple of really funny songs in there, and the one you mentioned, whatever it was called, "What the Fuck Happened," or something.
Yeah. And then
I
like
remember,
the dance number all the zombies had at the end.
yeah, they did have a like everyone was singing on the stage, or standing on the stage and singing together
Yeah.
with the Deadites, as they are called in the Evil Dead franchise.
Yeah. Like, guess who's evil now? Everyone just.
Yeah,
I like that running gag throughout the whole musical.
mm.
And his name, I don't remember his name. He who was like, oh, I was just meant to be like a guy that was meant to be killed off at the end, anyways. Like, unmemorable. And when he was about to, like, do his whole ass song number, Ash just blows him up.
Yeah,
That was also fun.
the guy who didn't have any lines, he was interrupted each time he was about to speak, right?
Yeah, until he had his whole song.
Yeah,
And then when he was really gonna get into it, he was just blown up. Or shot. Yeah, so high recommendation.
yeah, 2 thumbs up from, I guess, both of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when you got time, go and watch it. It's up on YouTube, like I said. As of now, I don't know how long it will be, but hopefully it's there.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know how to wrap this up, but thanks for listening. We'll be back with another mini-sode pretty soon.
Yeah, boy.
Bye bye.
Bye, good people.